Officials say they have found what they believe to be the remains of 3-year-old Mariah Woods. Her remains were found by the Fayetteville dive team. As the sun has gone down, you can see that the side roads along 3rd Street, like Walnut here and Red Cross a couple blocks away, are still sheets of snow and ice. Amanda, the temporary safety zone will stretch along the Cape Fear River for about 26 miles. And as you can see here, right behind me here at Carolina Beach State Park, this is the entry and exit way where a lot of boaters would typically come to fuel up. The whale was bleeding while he was in the water, and marine experts say the mammal is hundreds of miles from where he should be. It's been more than 6 months since we learned about Gen X in the Cape Fear River. The high schoolers will be filling up this truck with 93 of these boxes. That is 216 meals in each and every box that will be going to someone in need. Tonight was day 2 of a 4-day training session where emergency services from across the area could experience real-life situations.
Thank you all for coming.
In day 5 of the search for missing 3-year-old Mariah Woods, hundreds of volunteers tracked through the woods looking for answers. A search that hits close to home for many.
I have an 8-year-old granddaughter and I have a 9-year-old granddaughter, and if it were me in the parents' place and the family, I would want them to come out and try to help me.
Volunteers came from Onslow County and from across the state to help bring Mariah back home. As the hours pass, many stay hopeful.
Until she's found, I will always keep faith that she's going to come home and everything's going to be well.
Volunteers are searching not only for the girl, but anything that could be potential evidence. They trekked all along High Hill Road and Highway 17 searching, but it's hard to say what for.
I can't tell you what you're looking for. It has to be the thing that stands out to you. You just have to use common sense to say, that does not look like it should be here.
Along with choppers, canine units, and a supportive community looking for the missing child, one mother is holding her loved ones a little tighter.
If you have children, hold them close to you and just hug them and kiss them, because this is a wake-up call.
In Jacksonville, Jenna Kurzyna, WWAY News. Students were motivated by the February 14th shooting in Parkland, Florida that left 17 dead. They told me they are not going to be silent, and their voices were heard by thousands on Saturday.
What do we want? Change! When do we want it? Now!
March for Our Lives is the perfect name, because that's exactly what it is. We're marching so that this never happens again.
Young voices spoke up and demanded change.
We won't stay silent.
7 student organizers planned the Wilmington March for Our Lives and continued their call to action.
If we're old enough to be gunned down in our schools, we're old enough to have an opinion about it.
Emiko Andrews, a Harvard High sophomore, says she was inspired by the survivors from the Parkland, Florida school shooting and hopes others follow in their footsteps.
This is what has driven us all here. Gun violence has led us to fear for our lives.
Students organized, led, and spoke at the march and say they will not stop until they see changes in legislation for gun laws, shouting enough is enough.
We shouldn't have to deal with this. We shouldn't. This should be a no-brainer. Safety in schools, safety from guns is so simple, and we should not have to deal with this. But we are, because we know it's important, and because we care about our friends, and we care about this never happening again.
Some students, overcome with emotion, showed strength and passion while discussing their fears.
Something that's been kind of worrying me is that I think about what would happen if an active shooter came into my classroom, what I would do, how I would react. It scares me for sure.
The students say they want to be heard and hope others join their movement. Now, many of the students who spoke encouraged everyone to register to vote at the march. One student I spoke with says she is trying to plan another walkout for April 20th, the anniversary of the Columbine shooting.
Have a good day. Good afternoon. All right, babe.
Minnie Galloway is a familiar face outside of Trask Middle School.
Hi.
She has been the crossing guard and spreading acts of kindness for 19 years.
I've thought we're special to have Miss Minnie. I've never known of a crossing guard like her before.
But the most recent act has caught the attention of many.
I know they would like these coats.
Giving away coats to students many thinks might be cold.
Sometimes I don't know whether they have them or not. They say they have them at home. But I don't know. I just let them go ahead and, get if they want them.
This is not the first time Minnie has brought along items she thinks students may need. She has also given out umbrellas, school supplies, and gloves with a lot of love.
You never know who's paying attention. And I have some parents, stop by and say, well, I appreciate you doing this for our kids. I have some people that come by, don't even have any kids, and let me know that they appreciate what I do. It makes me feel good.
Acts of kindness that don't go unnoticed. In New Hanover County, Jenna Kurzyna, WWAY News.
Sheriff's office, come in the door.
That's the wake-up call that greeted many people in Brunswick County. It's the result of a 6-month investigation.
If you deal drugs in Brunswick County, we're coming for you. It's just plain and simple.
Sheriff John Ingram says these roundups take a lot of undercover work and planning. Several teams went across Brunswick County, searching for people from Leland to Calabash, many ending up in handcuffs.
We're getting people that are demonstrating that they are going to deal this poison on our streets without regard of our laws or who it affects or who it kills. And we're going to do everything we can regardless of what it takes to get them off the streets.
Investigators say out of the 63 suspects, 40 were repeat drug offenders. Drugs were even found during the roundup.
Unfortunately, they choose to continue to do that because the way that our laws are structured currently, they can be convicted of 1, 2, or 3 felonies and never really serve a day in jail.
Ingram says these repeat offenders play the system and use it to their advantage, something he wants to change.
There's a better solution. Make it where if you sell drugs and you're convicted, you go to prison, not get probation. There's a novel idea. Let's put them, if they choose to deal drugs and be a part of that, put them in prison.
In Brunswick County, Jenna Kurzyna, WWAY News.